Hello, everyone. I am Pooja Agarwal Sheikh, the founder of the Wise Oak. The Wise Oak has been started with a pure intention of helping people grow spiritually and heal themselves emotionally. Good morning, Vasant Lal,
Hello,
and
good
welcome
morning.
everybody. Good morning, everyone on this platform. Good morning to everyone. And if you're joining from other parts of the world, then good evening or uh, to all of you all. And I'm very happy that I'm here today doing the work that I do, healing people, motivating them, taking them to a different level in their life, wherein by they are living their life being soul oriented rather than being just goal oriented in life. We have seen ourselves of late that we are quite focused on our goals and we, lose our soul in the journey. And that's the reason I'm here to guide people, to help them, because I felt lost in my life once upon a time. And the programs and practices that helped me is what I'm been sharing for past couple of years with people. And that's how I'm growing and evolving myself each day. And welcome aboard on this journey with me today. Firstly, I would like to start with a small gratitude to all of you all for showing up. And also, I would like you all to join your hands in gratitude to the universe for allowing you all to be part of this program today and learn, share, evolve, grow together with me and this powerful energy of the universe that brings us together, uh, with the best of the possibilities for each another. And let's hope this we can spread this out throughout in the world wherever we go. Yes. So today we are going to start with a beautiful session on mindfulness. I want it to be very interactive because that's how I take my workshops. I don't make it boring and one-sided affair. I like it to be two-way communication because that's when we learn, we explore, and we get a little more detailed oriented approach of things. If it's only me who's going to talk every time, then it's not going to solve the purpose because then there are going to be no takeaways from your end. Other participants won't get maximum output of all of that. So let's try making it two ways. When I put forward some questions, I invite you all to participate in that. There is no right, no wrong. There are no judgments. We are all here, participants who are learning from each other. So let's just begin with the session on mindfulness. uh, how many of you all know little bit about mindfulness, or have you all heard about mindfulness, or any past experience on this topic of mindfulness? Anybody would like to share?
Yes, is it same as Sahaj Mark, which they have international office now? They call it mindfulness. Is it same? Sahaj Mark.
So I'm not really aware of Sahaj Mark what you're talking about, but mindfulness, it doesn't belong to one person or one group or one, it's a philosophy. So anybody could be practicing that philosophy and anybody could bring it back to their life and, incorporate their own ways of doing it. So it doesn't restrict itself. It is a practice. It is a philosophy that can be adopted by anybody anywhere, and then they could shape it and give it their own name or the personal touch, or the founders add their value and experience of yours with that particular philosophy and try to refine it, suiting to their needs, and seeing that this could even be better. If we can improvise on it, why not? So it doesn't belong to, I'm not sure about what group you are talking about, but it doesn't belong. But what is concept of mindfulness? Do you know that? Has anybody heard about it? Of late, it's been the most, trending topic of all. There are so many courses, classes coming of mindfulness. Mindfulness is such an used word in schools, especially. And, we keep telling children these days, be mindful of your action, be mindful of this, be mindful. So what exactly is this mindfulness? Anybody would like to share or add something?
Basically, I mean, requesting them to be more conscious. Mindful, being mindful is being conscious also. Like up
Yes.
level your vibration, up level your conscious self. Yeah. I mean, I'm
Yes.
coming up with, I don't know what you have
Yes.
in mind. Yeah.
So let's take it uh, a little further than just the consciousness. It's more about the awareness. So mindfulness practice believes in being aware to the present moment of life. It pulls you back and brings you back. So this is the only philosophy of mindfulness. It is so simple. It is just exactly this one word. You can say mindfulness is being aware, but aware of what? Your present moment. It is such a simple thing. But people and teachers and masters spend their entire life with mindfulness, dealing with so many different things. So what is this all awareness about? What we need to be aware about? Anybody would like to answer that? Why are we consciously working to bring up our consciousness or our awareness towards what? So the word itself suggests something. The word mindfulness suggests something. It suggests something about mind being filled up, right? Mindfulness. So in our day-to-day life, research shows that 47% of what we live our life, we are living in either past or present. We are hardly available to ourselves in the present. Like everybody knows, if we are thinking, either we are thinking about the past, maybe our regrets, maybe our, past memories, which were not so good, maybe good at times, or we are building up ourselves for the future with maybe a lot of anxiety, lot of pressure on ourselves, lot of fear that we don't know what's going to happen next. We typically saw this behavior during our rough times of COVID. Everybody was scared. Everybody never knew what tomorrow is holding on for us, and we were all around the place in our mind, and we were just thinking, what can we do to save our family, to save ourselves, to protect ourselves, right? So our mind is constantly outwards. Our mind is constantly living either in past or in present. So there's a very nice saying, a human mind is a wandering mind, and a wandering mind is an unhappy mind. It's been said by Killingsworth and Gilbert, right? So they have rightly put it. A human mind is always wandering, and it's always wandering towards the past or towards the future. Where are we present in today, right now, in this moment? Are we feel we are. We constantly feel that. I also had the same impression that obviously I'm only doing this work, so I'm here only. Where am I? If it's not me, then who it is? But is it me present with my whole identity that I have created in the past, and I'm looking forward to make it in the present with in the future? Am I collectively that person today with all of that knowledge, with all of that experience? Am I bringing myself out today in the best possible manner? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Most of the times no. We are so much in hurry to finish our work or to get things done, or we take it everything so mechanically. Okay, I want to be on schedule, I want to do this right now, then this, then this, and this. We are so much in our process. It's so linear. We are so linear all the time, that this is how it should be. If anything goes up and down, we get upset, we get demotivated, right? So anything opening up for anyone from this conversation right now, they would want to add their perspective. They would want to add how they are now seeing the mindfulness under a light that I have thrown on the topic. Would they want to add now what mindfulness would be for them? I invite all of you all. Anybody coming up?
I think it means that you are aware of the past and now you're aware of the present and maybe prepare for the future.
Aware for the present and
Aware of the past and you're preparing for the future.
no, it's not right. This is not the definition of mindfulness. This is the way we live naturally. This is what we do, right? This is what we are constantly actually doing. That we are bringing our past, and based on those past, we are taking all the decisions, which is good because we have learned from our mistakes, and we want to improvise ourselves today, and we don't want to repeat our mistakes. If we are good learners, we are not going to repeat that mistake. That's what we keep telling ourselves, and that's why we want not to repeat those things. So we are very cautious that, I don't want to repeat the same. But at the same time, because we are so threatful about our future that, that mistake cannot happen again. I don't want to land up in the same place again. So we are so stressed today. But mindfulness talks about being aware in the space that you are today at the moment, not considering, completely, not like emotionally being attached to your past or your future. You have all those experiences within you. Trust your wisdom, trust your inner wisdom. It will come. When it's needed, it will show up for you. So trust in that. Trust in that wisdom, that it will show up for you when you really need it. But don't again get emotionally attached with the outcome that it is going to bring in this time. Because sometimes what happens, last time I did this, then I made this mistake. I don't want to do this again. Again, you do the same thing, or maybe you change your course of direction, and again, you land up into something bigger as a problem, or maybe, a different kind of a problem this time. And then you're like, oh yeah, I thought I wouldn't get into this thing, and still I got into it. So what's the point? My experience didn't help, or, me changing my way of direction or course of action still didn't help. So I'm so unlucky. Things don't work out for me. And, then the story keeps building up from that space, because we were so attached to the outcome. So mindfulness tells us, don't be attached to your past or to your future, but hold on to your present. Just hold on. Means it's a difficult concept to get it in one class or one session, but this is a small initiative that I want to take to, bring this subject to light so that you all can go ahead and, carry on this journey of mindfulness with other coaches, teachers, with me, maybe, if you wish to, or, do your own research work on this subject, because it's a beautiful subject and it can really change the way you look at your life from every perspective. This touches every part of your life. It's not only for your work, it's not only for your relationships, it's not only for your health, but it's for everything. It's a wholesome thing because it applies you to be mindful in every aspect of your life and make it a way of life rather than a 10-15 minutes practice that you do every day in the morning. That, okay, I'll journal today, I will just write it down. They are good. All these activities are good and they are conscious practice towards mindfulness. But mindfulness as a philosophy, if you adopt it, then you will become mindful any which ways, whether you do something or whether you don't do something. Every action of yours will be, inspired by that thought of mindfulness. So when I talk about awareness, awareness needs to be developed for what? Your first is your mind, because the mindfulness is all about your mind first. So awareness about your mind. Now mind works on what? How does our mind work? What is a food for our mind?
Thoughts are in the mind.
Perfect. So thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, and then they result into action that we take based on these, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. So our thoughts are constantly working. We are constantly thinking about things. As I said, we are either in our past, either in our future. We are never in this present, right? There is one more important thing that mindfulness focuses on or brings into our awareness. We need to be aware of our thoughts, 100% right. We need to be aware of our emotions. We need to take charge of our emotions. Mindfulness says that. There's one important thing that without which we wouldn't have existed. What is that?
Soul, soul, breath,
Yes.
air.
Tell me. Perfect, perfect. Breath. We all need our breath to live. But do you know that we all are breathing differently? Do you know that each of us has a unique breath, a unique rhythm to ourselves? And that what makes us us. We tell we are unique, we are different, we are, everybody is so special. Everybody is particle of that same universe and things like that. But we are so unique in our sense because our breath is unique. But have you ever given importance? Because we didn't buy it from the market. We didn't pay a price for that. Ask people who were suffering in COVID, they wanted those cylinders to, survive. But otherwise, in our day-to-day life, in our normal life, do we even care about it? Do we even bring it to our awareness that, okay, what is my breathing pattern? How do I breathe? And at this moment, I would invite you all to bring your awareness to your breath. So gently close your eyes and don't try to change, modify, or do anything. Just observe. Simply, plainly, just observe your see the movement, observe the movement. Are you breathing from your nose? Are you breathing from your mouth or your belly? Observe how are you exhaling. Be gentle to yourself. Don't question anything right now. Just be with yourself and your breath. You can observe the movements in your body. Maybe your chest is rising up and down. Maybe your belly is rising. Just be. If your mind wanders to the thought, gently come back to in and out. Breath is the only that you possess as your. And just observe. Is it slow? Is it fast? Do you feel it? What? If your mind wanders, come back to the connect to it deep and and now gently come back to the space and time. You may gently open your eyes. Are we all back? Oh, I'm sorry, Sanju. You can't hear me. Am I audible to others?
No, we had a sound issue. I could barely listen to you. The voice was very low and broken. It was breaking up actually.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
No, no, it happens,
But
but
did you hear the initial instructions?
basically
Could everybody hear?
first sentence little bit, and then we couldn't catch up with you.
Okay. So I had requested everybody to go inward and just, observe your breath.
Mm-hmm.
How many could do that? If you could just raise your hands. Ashmi, you could do that? You are on mute. You are on mute.
Yeah, I was able to see, and I was just trying to see where it is leading me. Like, is it going up to heart, stomach, and all? And I was doing what I was guided on my own, but I was doing that. Yes.
So where was it leading?
Mostly on the heart region, and not going all the way up to the Muladhara chakra or spinal base, but yes, mostly into the solar plexus and Anahata chakra. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
and I was
are again thinking so much about it, right? So yes, but what did it make you feel?
calm, very much calm down, and there is a space also between breath in and breath out, like a split second. I was just trying to notice that. Yeah.
Yes. For me, the first time I did, I observed that when I start observing, my breath changes. Otherwise, it's different. I breathe differently. You can't hear me? Am I audible now?
Yeah, it's good.
I said when I did this, I started with this practice. I started noticing that when I notice my breathing, I'm breathing differently. But when I'm not noticing, I'm breathing differently. There are two different ways of me breathing. Once under observation and once without observation.
Yeah.
So once you start observing, I was doing the right way of breathing. The right way of breathing is when we inhale, our belly should come out.
Yeah.
And when we exhale, our belly should, push itself inside. So in observation, I was doing it correct. But when not in observation, maybe I would slip. So that was a good awareness I developed over a period of time about my own breathing pattern. And I could then start working on it and, streamline. What is other people would want to add to their experiences? to this small exercise that we did today? Anyone else?
Yes, there is difference when we aware or when we don't notice.
Right, there is a difference. And that is our new awareness, right? We have got something from this new awareness, or, oh, okay, I breathe this way, actually. And this is the way actually I should be breathing. So that's like one bulb light moment for anybody. For me, it was. But when we continue practices like this, so this is a very small and a basic and a first practice any mindfulness coach or teacher or master would ask you to start with. But there are hundreds and multiple exercises which will actually bring you down to every moment of your life, and to see that moment with a different perspective. Hold on to it or let it go. That's your choice. You want to hold on to it or you want to let it. But to observe that moment beautifully. Like today, we understand our breath is the most precious thing that we have, right? There's nothing more precious than our breath. Can we have something? But if we ask, what is your goal in life? Will we ever tell that my goal in life is to breathe 2 hours perfectly so that all my body organs, my body systems, everything is cleansed properly, it's intact, it's doing well? We'll generally say that I want my health to be good. After COVID, at least we have realized the importance of our health being good. So we claim that, okay, my health should be good. I'll, like to take care of my body and things like that. But do we even give importance to our breath in day-to-day life? No. We are least connected with it. If anybody talks about meditation, we are like, it's the most difficult. We cannot sit closing our eyes. Who will do this work? Who will finish that work for us? Who has the time to sit and do meditation? It takes so much of time. So we come up with these excuses because we feel that, yeah, achhi hogi practice. We don't deny of that. But it's not for me. It's for somebody else. No, your breath is for you. It's for nobody else. That's the only thing you have for yourself. When you don't have money, you don't have food, you don't have anything else, your breath is still there with you. You don't have family, you don't have relations, your breath is still going to be there with you. So why not invest a little bit of time on your own breath? Take a little bit of time going inward and understanding that, this is something important for my life and let me take charge. Okay, now we come to the second part of our thing. We said mindfulness and productivity.
I thought that being aware of your breath. I thought that I was trying to make an effort to breathing, because if I am breathing unaware, it is a natural thing, and being conscious breathing is stressful because I'm waiting for the next breath. I'm trying to take the next breath. So I'm making an effort at breathing. That is what I thought. Being unconscious and unaware was more comfortable.
Good you brought up this thing. So everybody will have a unique experience of their own with their breath. But if something is stressing you, then there are two ways to it. Either you give up on it and say, this stresses me, I don't want to. Or either you go a step further, which mindfulness talks about and tells, why do you feel stress? Why do you feel that, being in observation of my breath makes me stressful to observe the second? Because maybe there is a lot of anxiety residing in you.
No, it is not that. It is that I'm now making an effort to breathe. Because
You're not making
consciously,
an
if I
effort.
breathe,
No, you don't have to make any effort. Even if you don't make any effort, you're going to breathe any which ways. Here, you are not making effort to breathe, but you're making an effort to keep a conscious eye on what's my pattern of breathing. How am I
no,
Observe.
breathing? And
no,
you
Observation.
have
I
to be
thought that
completely
if I am being
relaxation.
aware of
That,
my
okay,
breath,
is it,
I am making an effort. Otherwise, I won't breathe. That is what consciousness of your breath means. If I am being
if
conscious
you
of my
don't
breath,
breathe,
that means I am making the effort. If I'm unconscious of my breath, it becomes natural.
so if it is natural, if you have to consciously breathe, how are you surviving all the other times when you are naturally breathing? Here, you don't have to forcefully breathe. You
That
don't
is
have to
because
tell,
I'm breathing
"I have to do
unconsciously
this."
most of the
We
time.
are not doing some asana. We are not doing some pranayama that you have to observe that, nay, you have to take from right nostril. You have to do this. In this practice, you're just sitting and just being witness to what is your breathing. Maybe if naturally you're breathing the way you are breathing. Right now, you're
Correct.
breathing or not? You're breathing
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now?
yeah,
You are breathing, right? But now if I tell you, talk to me and just observe how are you breathing right now.
yeah. I thought that breathing as
Maybe
such
you're
as
not
a
breathing it
natural,
from your nose. When you're
no,
talking to me, maybe
as
you're
a
not breathing from
natural,
your nose.
as a natural phenomena, breathing is unconscious. So if I'm conscious about breathing, I'm making some other effort.
But if an effort is made for your benefit, for your health, what's wrong in that benefit? Why do we do pranayams? Tell me that. Because it's an conscious effort to breathe in a particular manner. So
But
that
I think
it
if you're
helps
breathing
in
consciously,
balancing our
it is
nervous
at a
system.
very minuscule point of time. 99.999% you're unconsciously breathing. That's how you're
Right.
surviving.
Perfect. So same for this. You're not supposed to keep a check on your breathing 24 hours by 7. But if you could take 1 minute every 4 or 5 hours, and in a day, if you could just be consciously aware to, that 1 minute that, okay, how am I breathing right now? So like example, if you're, driving on the road and there is a lot of traffic, you have stopped your car, right? When you have stopped your car, you're seeing around there's a lot of traffic. You are getting agitated because you have to reach on time to your office or to some place that your meeting was, and now you're getting agitated. Just make a note. Okay, how am I breathing right now? Maybe it would be fast because you're agitated, you're angry, you're upset on the situation. Maybe it could be you're just calm. You're like, okay, it's okay. I'll reach 5 minutes late. Let me just inform the person. So this is just bringing you in the present moment. It's not an exercise about controlling how you're breathing 24/7. Understand. If you have taken it otherwise, then please understand. It's not about how I'm breathing 24 hours. It is to bring you back that a thing which we are unconsciously doing for so many hours, all of our life. If we bring 1 minute consciousness to that, it can change our life. Then if we bring consciousness to other parts of our life, other activities that we are doing, how would it improvise and how would it make us a better person? How would it, bring down all the chaotic things that are around us? This is to bring you back. Sometimes what happens, now you'll think about the traffic, the same example. You'll think about the traffic. Then you will think about the person we are getting late on. Then you'll think about, okay, now if I'm getting late for this activity, my whole day is going to get late. Now where all I'll have to tell sorry, where I'll have to miss things, what I'll have to do. So we are continuously a change of thoughts. But if that moment you decide that, okay, let me get inward, let me just breathe for a second. Let me just observe my breath. What will happen? You'll calm down yourself firstly. You're again in that moment. When you open your eyes, you again see the traffic. And your whole process might change. So I invite you to practice. I invite you to do that. It is not so simple how it sounds. I understand that. I've been a student of mindfulness myself. And I know there are challenges. There would be questions. There would be things. You can always come back to me. I'm more than happy to help anyone on this. So, and if I cannot solve, I will connect to my teachers who have taught me into this practice and you can take up from there. So open up yourself to try this, open up yourself to, be non-judgmental. That's again a foundation of mindfulness. Don't hold judgments about things, practices, or it's not about being conscious and stressing yourself. If you're stressing yourself, the stress is already in your body, which is now showing up when you have to forcefully breathe. You told that when you are
Suppose
consciously
I
doing
give
that.
you another example. Suppose I'm running. I'm not stretched in a car, but I'm running. If I'm running, I'm metabolizing glucose excessively. So I'm breathing hard. Now, if I that is that I'm helping my body by breathing hard because I'm running. Now, if
So
I have to control that time I become aware of my breathing. How will it help? Because I have to breathe hard. Similarly, when I'm
what
under
happens?
stress, I am
Nobody while running can
metabolizing
stop.
glucose. I'm
Right.
metabolizing glucose when I'm in stress. And when you're in stress, you require more glucose and you're metabolizing more glucose. You will breathe hard. That is a biological thing. That is a scientific thing. There is no consciousness or unconscious involved there. Stress is part of life. Stress cannot be done away with. So when you are under stress, you will breathe hard. Running
In
is
this
also
whole
stress.
conversation, till now, I have never said that we have to give away stress. I don't remember myself telling that we have to give away stress. Neither I have made any, thing that you can't breathe hard. You need not do that. The example that you're setting, I have nowhere mentioned that when you're running, also you need to be conscious and you have to keep breathing. Then the exercise doesn't help. This is for your mind. When you're running, you are in a different mindset. You are looking forward for something and you're running in that action. So a running for fear is different and a running for an activity is different. The process of mindfulness is either before running, where you set yourself up for the day with the mindfulness practices, and you live that way wherein by I'm running for myself, for my good health. I might get good health, I might not good health, because the philosophy is there. I hope you are understanding that it's not the talk about how should be breathing all the time, and this is the only way of breathing, and there cannot be another way of breathing. This is not the topic under discussion today. The topic under discussion is how we are living our life and how we can apply practices of mindfulness, which is not only one practice, there are thousands of practices in this. This was a small example. This was a small teaser to invite you all to the world of mindfulness, wherein by you observe, okay, that the small thing if I do when I'm agitated, when I'm stressed, or when, things don't look good. Sometimes you just don't feel happy from within for no reasons, for absolutely no reasons. But you just feel that I'm not feeling that great. If you can do this exercise, it would really help you to just bring you back to the moment and, take it ahead from there. Because when you connect to your breath, you connect to yourself. You're making a connection with yourself inward. And that is more important. And that's the emphasis that we are giving over here today. We are not saying that shut up everything in the world and everything will always be good, rosy, blue. No, here we try to accommodate even our painful things, even our painful memories, even our heartbreaks, everything. So this subject is beautiful. I would invite you all to go and do a little more research on the subject and, read more about this, and you'll know. The second part that we were doing was about productivity. How does this make us productive? So mindfulness basically has different things for what you can be mindful. So we became mindful of our breath. Then we discussed about thoughts, emotion, things like that. Now for productivity, tell me, could anybody explain what is productivity in their layman language or in their understanding? What is productivity?
In a layman language, we can say whatever time we have and the activity we have to do, if it is directly proportionate and we are able to accomplish that, that's productivity. With all focus and everything. Yeah.
So it's a quality or the state of, being in a place. Like the example would be like if there is a carpenter and you give him 5 hours job and he is able to make only one cupboard or one drawer in that much time. But whereas there is another carpenter and, he is being given the same amount of time, 5 hours, but he has tried to create 2 drawers or, 2 cupboards. Means whose productivity is high? The second one's, because he is able to generate more output in the similar time. Right? Now, again, I would like to clarify productivity is not multitasking. because we understand, we feel that, multitasking will make us do things faster. We can do things faster, and in lesser number of time, we can do this also, that also, that. But what productivity mindfulness offers is a different concept. What mindfulness says is when we are mindful, we are more productive. So now example, same carpenter, he is making we both are given 5 hours, both have started on the same time. Now one person took 5 hours to make only one cupboard, and the second one could make two cupboards. Why? Because before starting the activity, probably one was mindful that what all things would I need in the process of making this cupboard. I would need wood, I would need Fevicol, I would need my hammer, I would need my chisel, so everything was arranged in front of him. He was mindful, he was dedicated, and he started making. And within 5 hours, he could make two. But the other one was not mindful before starting. He said, "Haan, job hai, karna hai, chalo kar lete hai." He got his stuff, he started working on it, and then he realized, oh, I didn't buy this thing from the market. Oh, I didn't get this thing. Now let me just go and buy and quickly come back. Let me just do this. Beech mein, he has lost his focus and concentration. Phone baj gaya. He started talking on the phone. So from his own activity, which he is supposed to finish, which is making a cupboard, he has now randomly gone to speaking on somebody on the phone. And then the story starts from there onwards. So he is also making, at the end of the day, even he'll make a cupboard because he has been committed for that. But this guy could make two and he could make one. Maybe, productivity is using the materials that you have seen the best example of productivity is sometimes our tailors. We give them fabric to stitch, and they creatively started making mask of that, the leftover fabric, and started giving free with the dresses. Or, they save all the material that we give them for dresses, which are the cutouts which are left. And then they start making mobile covers. They start making small potlies of all of that. And then they sell that as their own at a very nominal rates to, make themselves extra money or extra this thing. How does that happen? Because they are so mindful, and there are so many tailors who just randomly throw away all of that. They don't think about recycling that material. So the concept of recycling is basically making things more productive, right? Rather than just throwing them and dumping them in the nature, why not make it use of it, and why not use it? So these kind of examples are from mindfulness. When you are mindful at things, you'll try to do that same thing with a lot of focus and concentration so that it gets faster. And there are a lot of practices in mindfulness to get you more focused, more calmer, more concentration. All of these things fall under the category of mindfulness. So productivity will increase when you have energy. Now, when you do a lot of breath work, you sit down with yourself, you gain a lot of energy. Second practice would be, listening skills. Mindfulness tells, please be good listeners. It invites everybody to be good listeners. Why good listeners? Because if you hear right the first time, you save a lot of your time. But when we are listening to somebody, typically when we are, maybe kids, we tell kids, khana kha lena, time pe, do this, do this, do this. They'll tell, yeah, mama, we'll do everything. And they rush away because they are in hurry to go down to play, to garden or things like that. They are not listening actively. They are just passively listening. Now we go out, we come back, we'll see the fruit is kept on the dining table, and we'll tell that, Are, you didn't eat this fruit. I had cut for you long time back before going to garden. Oh, mama, I forgot. I didn't listen only that time. I didn't understand what were you telling that time. I was in rush to, this is a very small, basic layman example. But we are constantly in a hurry to reach to the second place. So we don't listen that carefully. And, I had this particular habit of leaving my house in hurry for, work. And my husband would tell, have you taken the house keys? Have you taken the house keys in the morning? And he took his set of keys, and I would say that, yeah, I have taken the keys. And when I return back home and I say, oh, I have missed on that. And then I'll call him up. How far are you? Are you reaching on time? And he'll be like, why? I'm like, I'm stuck out. I don't have the keys. And he said, I reminded you in the morning, but I am so much in rush to leave that I'm forgetting my own things. If I would have just paid attention to what he was telling actively that time, that he's reminding me, okay, let me just check it. Let me just go back again. I wouldn't have had to wait for him. So these are very small things, but it really makes a difference if you bring all these practices to life and start using them in everything that you can. It cannot happen overnight. It cannot happen in all aspects of your life, but you can start applying in small bits and pieces, start being aware of all of these things, and keep a little check, a gentle check, not a check that nahi kiya. Why you did? No. Again, mindfulness talks about compassion, first towards yourself and then towards others. So be compassionate with yourself that it's okay. I forgot keys today. I'll be mindful of it tomorrow. And if I am not also, it's okay. I will wait sometime. It's perfect. I learn. I'm a slow learner. Accept it. Accept it that I'm a slow learner. Accept it I'm forgetful. Mostly we try to fight for things. We'll fight. No, I had kept it. No, I had taken it, but this happened, that happened. Don't fight. Don't resist. Because whatever you resist will persist. So mindfulness talks about all these things and it applies. We are running out of time, I believe. And that's why I don't want to continue more on productivity. But yes, there are beautiful practices. There are beautiful things of mindfulness. Anybody who would like to connect with me post this thing, please get in touch. And I am planning to take more sessions on mindfulness with all of you. So again, I would like to end with a gratitude for everyone for showing up over here. I hope you all could get some bits and some flavor of this subject, which is a very, very vast and very beautiful subject. So thank you, everyone.
Good morning.
Anybody would like to share?
Yeah, I wanted to find out, how do you remember the names of the people that you meet? Because a lot of times you say, oh, I know this person, but you don't know who is he and how. It just so this mindfulness, how can you at that moment connect so that you don't forget?
So see, you don't remember names of people is because your mind is preoccupied. And that's why when they are telling you the name,
Exactly,
you
that's
are
what I'm
already
saying. A
somewhere
lot
else.
of
You're not with
times,
them.
yeah, because even if we are listening, see, I listen to you properly, then I will remember. But connections have to be possibly made. First time, if I don't know you, I've just met you. So how do you just kind of always remember? Say after 2 months you meet this person, you say, "Iska naam kya tha?"
Firstly, drop the judgment that you forget people's name. It's okay. A lot of people forget, even I, and it's perfectly fine. So first is that. Secondly, increase your active listening skills, as I said. Listen actively to a lot of people. Thirdly, there would be clues. That is not part of mindfulness, but I would just tell you that there are clues to remember names. This is the most, practices that mind magicians or mind things. So associate that person's name. Suppose somebody says this person's name is Neelam. Associate that person's name with the nearest family member or the nearest person that you know. This person resembles like this, maybe in looks, maybe in talking style, maybe in behavior, maybe. So tell, okay, Neelam resembles my daughter, Amaira. Okay, Neelam is Amaira. Neelam is Amaira. Neelam, tell 3 times to your mind. Next time when you approach that person, because you remember your own family member and their name or their characteristic or something which is strong about them, which the resemblance was, you will get that person's. But tell yourself 3 times. And try this and come back to me and let did it work for you or not?
Sometimes you don't get the chance because say you are in a get together and you're introduced. Okay, This is this. This is this. This is this.
Make a note of it. Make a note of it. Write it down on paper. Write it down.
At that
The
moment, you
moment
can't
you
say
reach
you're at the
home,
lunch or something.
the moment you reach home, just write down all the names that you have met. In that much time, you might remember, right? And if you skip one or two, if you don't remember one or two, that's perfectly fine, Neelam. Please don't hold judgments for yourself. And you can always ask them. Don't feel that it's so awkward to ask her again, what's your name? She had already told. People love telling their names again and again. So don't miss this opportunity of giving them that happiness. People love to tell their names. So let them tell their name again. Tell that, oh, your name was very beautiful, but can you just repeat it one more time for me? They would love to tell you. They will not judge you. So you don't judge yourself. They will not think that, oh, she forgot my name. No.
उमा जी, हिंदी
Yes.
में बहुत अच्छा होता है, भाभी जी, दीदी और ये सब बुला लेते हैं, आंटी, चाची है, मासी है, सब चल जाता है। तो बहुत अच्छा है, हम लोग लकी हैं इंडियन कल्चर के लिए।
Yeah, I know, Chachi Masi. That's wonderful. Regarding the breathing, I just wanted to add. You see, most of the time we are not using the full capacity of our lungs, and mindful breathing is only helping us do that. Our capacity is almost 80%, and we're using 20, and that 20 is what is causing the stress. I mean, the stress is not very good. It's harmful. I mean, one gentleman was saying just now it metabolizes and all. I absolutely am sorry, don't agree. Stress is the worst thing for anything. It can affect you later in life. It's a lifestyle disease causing thing. So, when you do a very mindful breathing, you're possibly using the capacity of your full lungs and increasing
So
more
I
blood
would
flow. It's more blood flow to your body and cleansing of the cells. अंदर झाड़ू लग रही है और कुछ नहीं.
So again, I would say that, stress is also a good stress and there is also a bad stress.
Really?
So let's make it more objective.
I never thought there's something called a good stress. I mean,
Yes, there is good stress because everything that we have been gifted with is for a reason and is for a purpose. So stress, like in a situation where we see a wild animal and we are very calm and very relaxed and we are seeing
no,
that wild animal is approaching
that's
us.
a survivor instinct. That
Right.
is our
So,
bodies, born with that. That's not
right.
stress,
So
I would say.
in that
That's
time when we are stressed, it's
that
a
is
good
getting
stress.
ready to
Right?
survive.
When we are, delivering a baby, we are going through a lot of stress, but that's again a stress created for procreation. So it's a good stress. That stress is needed at that time. But the additional stress that we are carrying around, which you are talking about, I think at this point in time, is that these are all mental fatigues that we are carrying on because we are so complicated as human beings. And, everything, yes, Ash, thank you for being there. We are so complicated as human beings. We are constantly, in that cycle of judgments, in cycle of, expectations, in cycle of, behavior patterns that we need to be this, we need to do that. We put so many shoulds and conditions on ourselves and our loved ones in that process that starts backfiring us. Unfortunately, we are not being trained to accept ourselves the way. There is always, you need to improve yourself. You need to improve yourself. You need to, means there is constantly something, we need to change something about ourselves. You need to change something about yourself. Whereas by mindfulness tells, don't change yourself. Accept yourself, better yourself, and, observe yourself. It's more about getting to know yourself first rather than anybody else and things outside. Know yourself first. That's the study that we are inviting people to do. Not about, telling, oh, you are wrong, you are not doing this, no, you should be doing that, this is this is that. It's not about that. It's just making observations, getting more closer, getting more inward, and, seeing that, okay, if I'm getting upset on this thing, I accept that I'm getting upset on this thing. But what thing about that is getting me upset? Where am I hurt that this thing is getting me upset? So you'll know yourself better. Did you get it?
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Sure. So, Pooja, mindfulness breathing, I like mindfulness, the breathing, what you're talking about, the exercise. Now, the thing is that I'm not sure, I'm trying to, regularize it so that it's a natural sort of thing, process. But I find that, I am not able to do that all the time. In fact, I'm not able to do it when I'm not conscious of it, most of the time. I have to. I just when I am suddenly conscious of it, then I change my breathing. But then when I'm not conscious of it, it goes back to the original, way of breathing.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
Automatic.
not going to happen. Here, the idea is to observe, not force itself to change its course of direction. Just observe. Just be an observer. Just observe. And you know mentally what kind of breathing it is. Slowly, it will come. People, slowly it will start coming into your practice and you will know it. So don't worry on that. Just take this journey ahead with a smile and don't be judgmental
But do
about
people
yourself.
actually
Okay?
be able
So
to unconsciously do it?
I didn't get your question.
Are
Maybe we
people
can
also
take this next time. Maybe we can take this next
unconsciously?
time.
Sorry.
Maybe we can take this thing next time because we are running out of time and even I
Just
have
this
to
one
leave.
question.
So
Like, are people actually doing unconsciously? Are they able to do yogic breathing the way that you are teaching, regularly? Does that happen?
yes, it does happen.
Okay.
Your breathing pattern will change.
So basically, it
And if
means
somebody
that
is
when you
breathing
breathe,
right,
you have
they
to
need not change their
inflate
pattern,
your
right? If somebody
abdomen.
is breathing right, why they have to change their pattern? So thank you everyone for showing up
If
and see
somebody
you
is
next.
inspiring, then you have to
Yes.